Didn't really like him, found him very intimidating, very mean. I was still in school and he has already established his life. I had nothing to contribute. This is odd. I've got daddy issues. There's a lot of questions we have about your mom's parenting style. I had other plans in life. I didn't think I'd get married this soon. I met Lonwabo the first time when I was going for a job interview. From the minute he saw me, he knew that he's gonna marry me, but I don't believe that. He made the move. I didn't give him the time of day because at the time I was still in a relationship. But then after a while, I was like, okay, this guy's not bad. And then I started answering his DMs and actually investing in the conversation. And then 2020, they became official. What were my first impressions of Lonwabo? I didn't really like him. He was kind of mean, but I realized that he had to be stern because he's a boss. But then when I got to talk to him, I was like, he's so sweet. Shockingly sweet. He is a bear, a literal teddy bear. What attributes do I like about him? He's such a giving person, and I think it stems from him being Muslim. I don't want to say it wrong, but you are 10 times blessed the more you give. It's amazing to just see him like randomly. Someone is asking for something and be like, let's go in the store, and he'll be like, just buy bread, milk. The one where I'm like, wow, you're a gem. He's a stern provider. He believes that it is my responsibility to make sure that everything in my home is good and my wife is happy. What I treasure the most about our relationship is our honesty and communication. This is the first man that I've been able to be my entire self with and be honest and even have uncomfortable conversations, but know that however uncomfortable it is, it's supposed to be had, and there's no I'm gonna hold it against you in the future, or I'm gonna judge you or anything like that. What strategy do I contribute in terms of hard situations? Lately it's been hard, and I say this because on my side I found it a bit harder to speak. I've got the issue of bottling things up, but the best way that I've realized is that I don't go to bed angry. And no matter how tough or mad or annoyed I am, I need to speak. I need to say, okay, I don't feel like speaking, but I'm gonna speak, because that's another weird dynamic when we just don't touch me in bed. Our age gap is 7 years. But yeah, I think 7 years is okay, as long as you're two consenting adults. Does our age gap have an effect on our relationship? I think when we were starting, we had concerns because I was still in school and he has already established his life. So is it safe to go down that route? I'm going to school. I'm not stable. I don't have money. I still live with my parents. So some weekends it's like, I can't come when I was supposed to come because, oh, my mom. On my side, I had insecurities of why me? I'm just a kid in school trying to figure out my life. And once I graduate, I'm still yet to figure out my life. Also, I believe Umjolo needs money, guys. Not even just on the guy's side, but also on the girl's side. My love language is gifting. I love to spoil my partner. So I was like, oh, and this person, so clearly he's expensive, but turns out nobody really cared about that. So our age difference affected financial planning in a lot of ways. Obviously, I had nothing to contribute. And he was okay. He's like, I'll figure it out for the both of us. Luckily, we weren't living together, but every time I'd go to him, he'd be taking us out. He'd be paying for everything, dates and everything. But when it started getting tougher was when we moved in together, because I can't expect him to buy like everything in this household, take care of me. I pushed so hard to get a job, even if I hated what I was doing at that time. Even now, like, he does almost everything, but I still push to help with groceries, to help with whatever else that I can help with. I think it's very important to work, have something for yourself, and very important to bring something to the table to help, because it does weigh heavy on your partner. how did the public stairs affect us? It doesn't help that I have a baby face either. And it doesn't help that he kind of doesn't look like his age. So yes, there's an age gap, but I look younger than 26 and he slightly looks older than 33. So it was, we know, we live in South Africa. Yo, wenza nomntwana. That's like, also lomntwana uthanda izinto. Kwenzakalani la? We've had those, it's not just the stairs. We've had actual people be like, this is odd. Jolana mashuga daddy Lungile. It doesn't help that he was driving the car that he was driving at the time. He picked me up at school and people would be like, But in malls, it was so evident because people stare. Be like, okay, at the end of the day, you're strangers. We don't owe you anything. Some of them were like, it's not gonna last. Ndala, she's gonna be done with you in no time. We moved along. But in terms of us, that's the last thing that could have affected us together. A lot of things were said about me and my mom's parenting style. Like, your mom just lets you do that. Boys come and fetch you. Men come and fetch you at home. My mom actually did cut off a lot of people in my hood. Even her allowing me to actually date this boy and not question in is because she had reached a point where she realized that she raised a good kid. She trusted me and she saw in the way that Lonwabo was treating me, I'm gonna let this happen. I'm gonna let my child date. I was very angry because how dare you question my mom's parenting style? She's a freaking hero. And you are gonna sit here and do that. Excuse me, you don't even know us. They chose to not say or do anything about it. I chose to retaliate and fetch some people and be like, how dare you? I think you can touch on a lot of things. Don't touch on my relationship, don't touch my mom. All the people that had something to say, that was the end of my relationship with them. There's one situation that I remember. It was that someone said that I had a sugar daddy. I'm gonna get pregnant and I'm gonna be a baby mama and it's just not gonna end well for me. My mom was gonna actually see it and she's gonna regret everything. And I told her that I don't need to explain myself to you, but that's not the case. This guy is this age. He's not a sugar daddy. He's not married. He does not have kids. He's a bachelor, which is now in a relationship with me. And I don't appreciate how this is happening. She tried to twist the story anyway. And I don't know how she feels now that this sugar daddy has married me. And we are now trying to build this beautiful life together. So I hope she's swallowing her words right now. What stigmas have I had to deal with? I've got daddy issues. That is the biggest one. Because I think at some point in the beginning of our relationship, the pet name I used to use for my husband was Daddy. So it was like, hey, when you've got serious daddy issues, uthanda izinto, you're too forward for your age, you need someone to finance your life. He was called I hate that word, but everything was just odd. Because like I said, my face doesn't even show that I'm 26. So it's like, and he's huge. Just like, yo, there's another, like, but the daddy issues one, and ngithanda izinto, ngijola nama place, I need someone to finance my life. Top of the list. Oh, I love being young in the bedroom. I still have the energy. I'm not saying he doesn't. I mean, he still has the energy. I'd say I'm a bunny. So it's interesting because it's not just we're having sex and that's it. Let's try this, let's try that. There's room for communication. But yeah, like, it's fun. Like, it's still very much fun. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but right now, it's great. And I'm actually glad, but I still go back to the fact that 7 years is not that deep, luckily. Nobody's knees are cracking or anything. Are there some things that I have to compromise on? Yes. Obviously, I had other plans. I didn't think I'd get married this soon. I still had plans of like being an au pair, traveling and stuff like that. If our age gap wasn't that, if he wasn't at a point where I'm settling down and I'm sitting still, there would be not a lot of compromise. And if I was also at that age with him, I would have done everything that I needed to do. But there's stuff like Big Brother that I wanted to do. And it's like, I can't be going on Big Brother when I'm with someone that is in a relationship to settle down. But for me, I was like, I still wanted to explore that. I still wanted to explore au pairing, partying, and ending up in wherever. But I need to realize now that I'm young, but there's certain things that I need to kind of pull myself back from. I have to compromise on TV a lot. He watches like news and sports, as you can see. I like watching like soapies, and I still love cartoons. And he was just like, what is this? But yeah, it's just living the way I wanted to live as someone in their 20s. There's certain things that I need to hold back on right now. What advice would I give with someone in an age gap relationship that's dealing with stigma? Best advice is do not listen to anyone. Not family, not friends, not neighbors, nothing. When you and your partner look at each other and you say, we want this, we love each other, we want to do this, whatever anyone else has to say doesn't matter. Go right ahead and go to couples therapy, do individual therapy, and let a professional help you deal with how to maneuver around the world, because the world is forever rotating. The biggest advice is to just shut everything and everyone out and focus on the one thing that you've given all your priorities, which is your relationship, your love, and that's the only thing that matters.